All right, let's get right into it. In this explainer, we're going to break down a really powerful and honestly surprisingly simple technique that could be your secret weapon for finally getting that English fluency you've been working for.
So tell me if this sounds familiar. You can watch a movie, you totally get what's happening in a podcast, but the second it's your turn to speak, it's like you just freeze up, right? The words, they just don't flow out as smoothly as they do in your head.
Hey, if that's you, I want you to know you are so not alone. This is a super common place for language learners to get stuck. It's sometimes called the intermediate plateau. And yeah, it's frustrating. But the good news? There's a totally proven way to blast right through it.
And that solution, that way through the plateau, is a technique called shadowing. It's specifically designed to build a bridge between understanding the language and actually speaking it. It might just be the one tool you've been missing all along.
The name itself is basically the perfect instruction manual. Just think about it. How does a shadow work? It mimics your every single move perfectly, almost instantly. Well, that's exactly what you're going to do. Become a linguistic shadow to a native speaker. So here's the nuts and bolts of it. You listen to someone speaking, a native speaker, and you repeat what they say in real time, like just a split second behind them. You're not waiting for them to finish the whole sentence. Nope, you are their shadow, speaking right along with them.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Just repeating what someone says? How on earth can that make you fluent? It sounds a little weird, right? Well, stick with me, because the benefits are huge, and where this technique comes from is actually pretty surprising.
So you're probably a little skeptical. I get it. Is this just some other language learning gimmick? Absolutely not. This technique actually comes from a very high-stakes professional field.
And here's the crazy part. Shadowing wasn't even invented for language students like us. It was created to train professional conference interpreters. You know, the people who have to listen to one language and speak another at the same time, at places like the UN. I mean, if it's good enough for them, it is definitely powerful enough for us.
And when you look at the benefits, you can see why it's so powerful. You're not just learning vocabulary words in a list, you're actually absorbing the music of the language, the rhythm, the intonation, the way words connect together. It literally trains the muscles in your mouth to make the right sounds, helps you internalize grammar without even thinking about it, and builds that confidence you need to speak without hesitating.
Okay, but we need to make a really important distinction here. This is not mindless mimicking. Just repeating sounds like a parrot with no idea what you're saying, that's not going to get you very far. The real magic happens when you're shadowing effectively, when you understand the meaning and you're trying to copy the emotion behind the words. You're not just copying sounds, you're copying communication.
All right, so hopefully you're sold on the why. Now let's get to the most important part, the how. Let's break down the exact step-by-step plan to make this technique actually work for you.
The process is actually pretty simple and structured. First, choose a short audio clip, and please pick something you find interesting. It helps so much. Make sure it has a transcript. Next, listen to it once just to get the main idea. Then play it again and shadow along. And here come the most powerful steps. Record your own voice while you do it, and then listen back and compare your recording to the original. That right there, that's your feedback loop. That's how you'll hear exactly where you can improve.
So where in the world do you find good stuff to practice with? Well, the great news is the internet is absolutely full of amazing materials. The only trick is picking something that matches your current English level.
Here's a quick little guide to get you rolling. If you're a beginner, something like BBC's 6-Minute English is perfect. The speech is super clear and slow. Once you're more intermediate, TED Talks are fantastic. The speakers are really engaging and the topics are always interesting. And if you're ready for an advanced challenge, go for a fast-paced podcast or even a sitcom like Friends. That'll really train your ear for natural, everyday conversation, slang and all.
Okay, you've got the what, the why, and the how. You've got the tools, but there is one last final piece to this puzzle. And honestly, this is what separates the people who see amazing results from those who, well, don't.
And it's this number. Just 10 minutes, maybe 15. That is all it takes each day. This is not about spending hours and hours grinding away. It's about building a small, consistent, and totally manageable habit. You know, at the end of the day, it really all comes down to consistency. A short practice every single day is so much more effective than one long session once a week. Building that little habit is what's going to create that real, lasting improvement you're looking for. And please, remember this. You are going to make mistakes. You're going to stumble over words. You'll miss things. That's not just okay, it's part of the process. So don't aim for perfection. Just aim for progress. Every single day you'll get a tiny bit smoother, a little more confident.
So there you have it. We've broken it all down. You have the technique, you have the tools, you have the plan. The only thing left to do now is, well, to start. So I'll leave you with this one simple question. What will you choose to shadow first?